decide whether to reduce it or not, right? So it is also called as shift reduce. So shift reduce means what? Whether to take the next symbol and then reduce, or you just need to, or you can just directly reduce, right? So ultimately it is also called as a reduction when you are using bottom up parsing. So there are actually total 4 stages of bottom up parsing. First phase is shift, right? So you can say also say that there are 4 actions, right? Shift. So first action is shift. So that means what? Whether the current symbol in the input string is pushed to the stack or not. So that means whether to take the next symbol and then reduce the production, right? So in when you want to take the next symbol and then reduce, then in that case you can say that it's a shift action. That means you are not reducing the production to any non-terminal symbol, right? You are just taking the next input symbol. That means suppose if your string is small letter a and the next symbol of small letter a is b. So reduction means what? When you are reducing that small terminal symbol a to any non-terminal symbol. But suppose you do not have any production which has a single a as a production. So what you are going to do, you are going to take another symbol which is small b. Suppose if you are having ab and small ab means terminal symbol ab. So suppose if you are having that ab as a production, then you have to take the next symbol b and then you have to reduce. So when you are taking b symbol, that step is called as shift action. We are going to see one example and it will be easier for you to understand then. But right now you need to understand that whenever you are using bottom up parsing, there are 4 actions. First action is shift, that we understood. Second action is reduction or reduce action, you can say. So reduce action is what? That when you are having a production like AB, suppose you have found out that AB is one of the production in your grammar. So you can simply reduce AB to that particular production. Suppose if your production is E gives AB. E is a non-terminal symbol here, and AB are small symbols. That means terminal symbols. So you can reduce from AB to E, non-terminal symbol E. So in that case, the step is called as reduction. When you in the string, suppose AB is there, and when you are replacing non-terminal symbol, to AB to E. So in that case, you are reducing. That means it is called as reduction. And there are 2 more actions, accept and error. Accept means what? Suppose if you are able to generate. Am I audible to you, right?
Yes.
Okay. So when you are able to generate a starting non-terminal symbol from a given string, that means that string is accepted by the given grammar. So that is called as accept. Otherwise, if you are not able to generate starting non-terminal symbol, then that string, state would be considered as a error. Now suppose, so this is basically called as shift reduce parsing, where you have to decide whether to shift, whether to reduce, right? Ultimately, the whole bottom up parsing is about deciding when to shift and when to reduce, right? Because whenever you have been given a string, suppose this is a string, suppose we'll see the example here. So this is a string, see this. I'll give you 1 second to process this. So this is a string, this is input string, right? And this is the grammar for it. This is grammar. S gives A, B, A, B, B. A gives A slash A, B gives B slash B. So this is a grammar and this is an input string. So here what you have to do, you have to check whether this input string is generated by this given grammar or not. Okay. So now what you have to do here, so you have to see that this is a string. So you have to start with here, right? Can you see this red color? Can you see this red color? So there are 2 things here, okay? Whether to reduce this A to this production, right? So what you have to do, you need to check whether simple A is there or, right? is there. So yes, it is there. It is here. So you are going to reduce this A to non-terminal symbol A. You understand what we are doing? We are doing reverse process. In top-down parsing, you used to replace A by this production. Here you are going to reduce this A production to a non-terminal symbol. Okay, so here instead of A, now you must be thinking that how we will be able to know that I have to replace third symbol or not first. Yes, that was the question I was answering. So this is an example, just an example, which tells us the concept of shift reduce. But when you are actually, when you are going to use the actual method of shift and reduce, you have to have the table only where you will have that mapping. जैसे आपने LL1 parsing में क्या किया था, जब parsing कर रहे थे तो table था, उसमें clearly you could you could map the terminal symbol and non-terminal symbol, and then you could see that which production I have to do or which action we need to do. उसी तरह से shift reduce parsing में भी कौन सा production कौन से time पे कहाँ कौन से उसमें शिफ्ट करना है, रिड्यूस करना है, ये आपको वो टेबल से आपको पता चल जाएगा एज एंड व्हेन वी विल प्रोग्रेस. राइट नाउ दैट्स व्हाट आई वांट टू एक्सप्लेन कि यहाँ पे हमको ट्रायल एंड एरर करके देखना पड़ेगा कि भाई चलो पहले इसको रिड्यूस किया. सो बेसिकली व्हाट यू आर डूइंग, this red is what? Red is called as sentinel forms, right? So sentinel forms will lead the production to starting non-terminal symbol. So it's kind of finding right production so that that production will give you a starting non-terminal symbol. That means that production will lead to you an accepting state, right? So finding right sentinel forms is very important in bottom-up parsing, shift reduce parsing. So that those methods we are going to do, like you might have heard that LR parsing, LR1 parsing. So this all methods are to decide whether to shift or whether to reduce and which production we need to do, right? So as and when we will progress, you will understand that अच्छा ये third कैसे production हमने reduce किया. Okay, now you see that you have here AA. Okay, now you have reduced this AA to A. Okay, right now what we are doing, we are just look at the production and see whether we have to reduce it or not, right? So now this A and B. So you can see that there are 2 points. There are 2 options. This AA is also there and this AB is also there, right? And you can also reduce this single B. You can also reduce this. So there are so many possibilities. So LR parsing is about that only, that you will be able to know that at which action, at which point you have to apply which action. Are you so here what you are doing? This you are just reducing this B to this B, and then this is how you will get the full form, right, of AB, and then you will get the starting non-terminal symbol. Now tell me if I'll not reduce this B to non-terminal B, and instead of that if I'll do something else, then what can be the result? Suppose if I'll reduce this B to non-terminal B, I can do that, right? Or I can reduce this AA to this A. Then can you get the starting non-terminal symbol? Tell me. I'm giving you 2 minutes and tell me whether you are able to. If not this, then can you have another reduction steps and can you generate the starting non-terminal symbol? So what I am telling you to check whether the given grammar is ambiguous or not. Right? So check, I am giving you 2 minutes. Yes, Prince have written something. A B. So what you have done?
मैम मतलब फर्स्ट स्टेप में हमने जो हमारी पीपीटी है उसमें स्मॉल ए को कैपिटल ए में कन्वर्ट किया था. देन हमने स्मॉल ए
So
कैपिटल
just
ए को
change
कैपिटल
the
ए में.
order, na?
यस मैम. तो वो डिफरेंट काउंट होगा या ये
No, no, no. So ultimately it's the same, right? So if you have changed
Okay,
the reduction, so here when you are using a table, so you will be able to just have to follow certain order. So based on based on that, based on the table, it will be same, right? So basically what here I am trying to say that you have to find the proper production to shift or reduce, right? So whenever, until and unless you do not find a proper production to reduce, you have to shift, you have to go for your shift action, राइट. सो यहाँ पे जैसे तुमने रैंडमली अपनी आपको अपना दिमाग लगा के करना पड़ा होगा कि भाई ये करेंगे, बट मशीन इज नॉट इंटेलिजेंट, राइट? कंपाइलर इज नॉट इंटेलिजेंट, यू हैव टू प्रोग्राम इट. सो उसको ऐसे मैकेनिकली आपको बताना पड़ेगा कि भाई अगर ऐसा प्रोडक्शन है, अगर ऐसा नॉन टर्मिनल सिंबल है, अगर इनपुट स्ट्रिंग जो उसका टॉप ऑफ द स्टैक ये है, तो अगर ऐसा कॉम्बिनेशन आए तो यू हैव टू फॉलो दिस, यू हैव टू डू सर्टेन एक्शन, आइदर यू हैव टू शिफ्ट इट और रिड्यूस इट, right? So you cannot just tell compiler that you decide that what production needs to be reduced first, right? So that is why you have to learn different parsing techniques, so that whenever you are following it, so you just need to see the table and decide the action. Okay, so now here what actually we are going to do, so we are finding handle here. So what is handle? So handle of a string is a substring that matches the right side of a production rule. So ultimately why we have to find a handle. So handle is what, that it's a form where you know that you need to reduce. Okay, so suppose if you are this red colored part, you can say that it's a handle. Why? Because when you reduce this when you reduce this production, right, like here it is matching with the right production. What it says that what is handle? Handle of a string is a substring that matches the right side of a production rule, right? So here this substring matches with the right side production rule, right? This, and then you are reducing this A to capital A, so non-terminal A. So but this second string or third string also matches with the right side production rule, but it is not handle. Why? Because it will not lead you to a proper reduction. So if you reduce this A, which is matching with the right side rule, but if you reduce this A to this A, non-terminal A, then this string will not lead to starting non-terminal symbol. So it will not go into accepting state. So that is why this string also is matching with the right side rule, but this is not handle. हैंडल इज व्हाट? हैंडल उसी को बोलते हैं कि जो तुमको राइट साइड जो भी प्रोडक्शन के साथ एक तो मैच करे और उसको रिड्यूस करने से यू विल गेट एन एक्सेप्टिंग स्टेट. आर यू गेटिंग दिस और शुड आई एक्सप्लेन इट अगेन? Okay, so that you have to remember that in bottom-up parsing and shift reduce parsing, finding a handle is a very important, right? Okay. So here handle pruning means reducing, right? Handle pruning means reducing that production. Okay, so this is an example. Now everyone see this. So just process this grammar. Just read this grammar and then read the string. I'll give you 2 minutes. So here you can see, right? Here you can see that this is a production. E gives E plus T slash T. T gives T cross F slash F. F gives E and ID. So here if you can see that, this is a string. Because this is a shift reduce parsing, that means a bottom up parsing, you have to take input string as an, first step. And then you have to reduce a production. So now when you see this red colored symbols, this all are called as handles, because this handles lead to the starting symbol. That means it leads towards the accepting state, and that is why these are handles. Otherwise you can और एक step पे एक ही reduction कर सकते हैं. You cannot do reduction so here एक साथ एक ही कर सकते हैं. So here you see here ID. So right side कहीं पे match हो रहा है तो हाँ तो ये हो रहा है. So you are here, you are writing a production that you are reducing ID to F. Okay. Please listen it very carefully, because at certain point of time you will feel that there are so many options whether to shift, whether to reduce. If you want to reduce, there are कहाँ से क्या reduce करना है. So right now it is very simple that you have to reduce this ID to F. Then what you do, you have to reduce this F to T. So F to T, and then now see here, then you have reduced T to E. Now you have another production, this ID. So now here you are reducing this ID to F, same thing. Then you are reducing F to T, right? Now you can see here that instead of reducing this T to E, right? This T can be reduced to E also, right? This T can be reduced to E also, right? then this E plus T can be reduced to E also, right? Then but what you have done, you have आप आगे गए और आपने ये आईडी को एफ में कन्वर्ट किया. क्यों? Because this is leading towards the accepting state. So when this kind of confusion happens, you know, because you are a human and you know that, okay, if I'll reduce this T to E, then it will production will be E plus E, and there is no such production in this grammar. So ultimately it will give you an error. So that is why I should not reduce this T to E, and instead of that I should go further and I should reduce this ID to F. And if I'll reduce this ID to F, I'll have T cross F as a production. And then it will be reduced to T, and then I will lead towards the accepting state. So now, because you are a human, you can decide that, okay, if I'll go this way, then I will get the correct sequence. But the compiler doesn't know it. So what you have to do, you have to decide the correct handles for your parsing production, right? And that is why we are going to use certain techniques. Okay. So I want you to parse this. If you have pen and paper, I'll just give you 2 more minutes and parse this production so that you will be able to understand that what I am talking. Should I explain it again or you understand this?
मैम एक डाउट था.
हाँ बोलो.
यस मैम, अब जो हम बॉटम अप पार्सिंग करेंगे उसमें भी हमें लेफ्ट फैक्टरिंग, लेफ्ट रिकर्शन वो सब रिमूव करना पड़ता है.
That you do not have to do in this bottom up parsing.
Okay.
Because why we were using this left recursion, because you were having non-terminal symbol as a first symbol. ग्रामर से तुम स्टार्ट कर रहे थे, यहाँ पे ग्रामर से स्टार्ट नहीं करना है, तो यहाँ पे इनफाइनाइट लूप में जाने का इश्यू नहीं है.